This is Airport by Seth Race, an organic piece of magic with AirPods. Is this your new everyday carry or should you stay away from this? Stick around because today I'm telling you everything you need to know about this product. Let's do a trick with my AirPods. Watch this. We're going to take the AirPods, one in each ear, one here, and the other one in this ear. Right there. So we've got one in each ear. If we take this one and this one both together, and I squeeze them both, watch. If I take this one and wave it over the other, it vanishes. So we've now got one AirPod. But you can still do everything with one AirPod that you could do with two AirPods. You can answer calls, listen to music, but it's just with one AirPod. And do you know where the other one goes? Back in the case, charging. Here, we'll take it out. They can check out the AirPod, make sure there's no funny business with it, and put it back in the case. Watch. If we take this one now from my ear and I squeeze it, it vanishes. Do you know where it goes? It goes right back into the case. And that's Airport by Seth Race. I hope you enjoyed that performance of Airport by Seth Race. I'd like to let all magic distributors and creators know if you want me to review your product, contact me at bfanmail@gmail.com. And I do free Magic Monthly giveaways, and all you have to do to be eligible is subscribe. Now, Airport by Seth Race, let's talk about it. It's essentially a utility device that allows you to do a lot of cool routines involving vanishes and appearances of AirPods. So what do you get? When you buy Airport, you'll receive this plastic bag. And inside the plastic bag, you get a few things. First of all, you get an AirPod or Airport case with two AirPods in them. The items are almost indistinguishable from a normal case of AirPods, but the AirPods are not functional at all. You get an Airport gimmick, one gimmicked AirPod that allows you to do some really cool vanishes. And it looks pretty similar to a regular AirPod. What is the quality of the gimmick? Well, first let's talk about the normal AirPods and the case. I'm going to take it out of the bag. I can't show everything, but I'll show what I can. Okay, perfect. The AirPod case. This is the AirPod case. Let's talk about it. As you can see, the AirPods are about the same size as normal AirPods would be. The case and AirPods are plastic and feel normal. They're not very heavy. But it's interesting because AirPods are not normally an object you do magic with. The case should last you a long time. There's no moving parts with the case. However, at the back, for some reason, this little circle at the back was wiggling. It has absolutely nothing to do with the method at all, but the circle was wiggling. It was more of a quality thing. And what I just did was I used a needle to push the circle in all the way, and I glued it down so it wouldn't be wiggling or moving around. I'm not sure if that's the case with all units of Airport, but it was the case with mine. Now, let's talk about these. The AirPods, they are okay. I had some issues with the quality of these AirPods. I'll talk a little bit about that later. Now, the Airport gimmick. The Airport gimmick looks pretty convincing. However, there is a slight discrepancy with it. It doesn't look exactly like the other AirPods. I'll show you what the gimmick looks like. I won't reveal the method, but this is what it looks like. It looks almost identical to the AirPods in this case. The gimmick does not have really moving parts. There's no magnets, elastics, threads, or anything to break. It's plastic. It for now looks pretty durable, but I don't recommend dropping it. If you drop it too many times, it may crack or chip. There was also a very small chip in my Airport gimmick when I first received it. The small chip doesn't affect the functionality of the trick. However, keep in mind that for many of the routines, you're putting them in your ear. So if there's a chip in it, that chip might scratch your ear. Additionally, the ungimmicked AirPods, this is a bit hard to explain, but the plastic, these black parts of the AirPod, those popped inside for some reason. So When you shook it, you could hear something inside. I had to actually break open the gimmick and glue it all back together. I don't think other units would have that same issue, but I just wanted to note my own personal experience with it. And if you had the same issue after you bought Airport, let me know in the comments down below. The gimmicks should last a long time if you take care of them and make sure not to drop it. However, I had some issues with the quality of the ungimmicked AirPods because of something got nudged loose. Maybe the magnet inside that allows this to fall in, that attracts the AirPod to the case. The magnet came loose. So when you shake it, you could have heard something, but it's all resolved now. I glued it back together. So the magnet's back now in place. How's the tutorial? The tutorial is just under an hour long. First off, Garrett Thomas is in a house. The audio and video are clear. He's just explaining some handlings you could do with Airport. He explains the palming, how to get used to the AirPods, how to make them appear and vanish, and he teaches some routines. A lot of them involve putting the AirPods in your ear and using the angle your spectators are at to your advantage, which is really cool. After Garrett, Seth Race, the creator of Airport, teaches some handlings you can do with the Airport gimmicks. One of the routines Seth teaches is called airlock, but you'll need to provide another AirPod case that you're willing to ruin permanently for this effect. Seth also teaches a really cool way to produce both AirPods from behind your ears with empty hands, empty ears, and no sleeve. It really looks cool. Overall, the tutorial was very interesting, but I was kind of hoping for more of the effects to be flushed out routines rather than ideas on what moves could be done with this. But it's a good tutorial. Is this a social media or real life effect? The trick itself works well for social media because you have complete control of your angles. Garrett himself says when practicing this, don't practice this in front of a mirror. Do it in front of a camera so you can see if you're flashing. With social media, you have as many takes you can do as you want. It also would work well for casual performances in real life for a smaller group. It works just as well in real life for a smaller group as it would for social media once you have practiced this routine and have it down without flashing. What are the angles like? Airport by Seth Race does not have perfect angles. I would recommend that at most you have 180 degrees angles. I wouldn't have people at my sides or behind me. That's another reason this is great for casual performances on a bit of a smaller audience. Are there live performances in the tutorial? Unfortunately, there are no live performances in the tutorial. Is this examinable? At the beginning and the end of this effect, the AirPods and the case are all examinable. The gimmick is out of play by then. Now let's talk about the difficulty and practicality of the effect, Airport. First, how hard is Airport to do? Well, there are lots of routines taught in the tutorial by both Garrett Thomas and Seth Race. So the difficulty level of them sort of varies. It depends on what routine you're doing. For the routine, the difficulty of them varies. As I mentioned, some of the effects taught by Garrett and Seth might take 15 minutes of practice. Others might take a couple of hours. However, one thing I will note is that you'll have to get used to using AirPods for magic, because AirPods are not usually used for magic tricks. You're not used to doing French drops with them, retention vanishes. You're more used to doing that with coins, so you'll have to get used to it. As for practicality, this would work well close up in a casual performance. I don't know if AirPods are in your ears would really fly in a high-paying gig or corporate or something like that, because it looks a bit unprofessional. However, if this suits your performing style or character, this can be done anywhere close up. As for DIY, is there any DIY? For some of the routines taught, you do need to provide extra materials, including another AirPod case, and you have to do some DIY. However, not all routines require this. The gimmicks come ready to go right out of the box, or right out of the package. Pocket space. All you have to do to carry this around is You need to carry the AirPod case with the AirPods in it, as well as the small airport gimmick, which is about the size of an AirPod. That's what makes this a great EDC. In case someone comes up to you out of the blue and says, "Can you show me a trick?" It looks like you're just making it up on the spot. What is the reset like? Airport by Seth Race has many routines with an instant reset, but not all of them do have an instant reset. Some of them, like the one where you make the AirPods appear right out of your ear, do have a reset. Price, how much does this cost? Airport by Seth Race costs $40 US. That is a bit expensive for what you get, in my opinion. However, if you like what you see with this, this might be for you. However, mine had a couple of issues with the quality of the AirPods themselves, because as I said, the magnet got dislodged. That helps it attract to the case like that, see? But I ended up opening it up and gluing it back. But I think this would have been a bit better if it was $30 or $35. But I see why they charged $40. You do get a lot of ideas in the tutorial. What are the pros and cons with this? The pros are that this is visual. It's an impossible effect. There are multiple routines you can do. It's a great EDC, very practical, good for conversational magic. And also the tutorial is pretty good. Now, for the cons are that this does have some angle issues. Mine had some issues with the quality of the AirPods, and this can be a bit knacky at first. And also, this won't suit every environment. If you're going suit and tie into a corporate gig, it might not be appropriate to have the AirPods in your ear. What percent do I give this? Airport by Seth Race is a very interesting effect and has a really cool concept. It gets a 70% from me, so I hope I helped you determine if this is right for you. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.